What if I told you, right now, sitting inside your pocket change could be a coin so powerful, so rare, that it could rewrite your fortune overnight? These are not just old pieces of metal, these are silent treasures, born decades ago, now worth more than luxury collections, hidden behind scratches, patina, and forgotten mint marks. Today, we're opening a vault most people don't even know exists. The Washington $quarter secrets. The coins that once jingled in a kid's hand, now shaking the very foundations of the collector's market in America. Every coin you'll see today carries a story of war, pride, and mystery, and a hidden value that could change your life in an instant. So tighten your seatbelt, coin hunters, because by the end of this video, you might just start checking every single quarter you own. This is CoinX USA, and today, we're revealing the 10 most valuable Washington $quarter ever discovered. Stay tuned till the end, because coin number 1 is something the world thought was gone forever. But one recently resurfaced in a dusty collection, and its price at the latest auction left even the experts speechless. Coin number 1. Let's step back to 1960, a year when America stood between eras. The spirit of Eisenhower still echoed, and the minting presses of Denver were rolling out quarters like soldiers in formation, each one bearing the proud image of George Washington, the father of the nation. But among those millions, something extraordinary happened. Somewhere in that batch, a few coins came out different. Their metal surface, touched by time, air, and minting anomalies, took on a mysterious dark tone, a black shade unlike anything seen before. To the untrained eye, it might look like just a worn quarter. But experts see it as something far greater. The 1960D black shade Washington quarter is a coin born from imperfection, a visual whisper from history itself. This coin's composition follows the classic pre-1965 standard, 90% silver and 10% copper, a metallic harmony that sings with every glint under the light. But what truly makes this piece legendary isn't just the metal, it's the shade, the strike, and the story. As decades passed, coins were melted, lost, forgotten, but this one survived, carrying the marks of circulation like battle scars from another century. Its D-Mint mark, stamped proudly from the Denver Mint, gives it both identity and prestige. And that black patina, it's not dirt. It's time itself, engraved in color. Collectors call it the Shadow Quarter, a name whispered through online forums and coin shows, where serious buyers glance at photos and say, if that's real, it's a treasure. The rarity of the 1960D black shade Washington quarter lies in its combination of history and mystique. Circulated coins with this natural oxidation pattern are almost extinct. Out of millions, only a handful remain in this dark, hauntingly beautiful condition. Auction houses have described its appearance as museum-grade atmospheric toning, and when such a coin appears, the bidding wars are electrifying. Collectors go silent, then frantic, because they know this isn't just silver. This is a story you can hold in your hand. And recently, one of these coins appeared, authenticated, graded, and confirmed as genuine. Its sale price? Brace yourself. $124,000. Yes, you heard that right. A quarter once used in a grocery store transaction in the 1960s now stands as a $124,000 masterpiece of American numismatic history. And listen closely, that's not the peak. Experts say the market value is rising every single day. With collectors racing to secure pieces before they vanish from private hands, this coin's future value could climb even higher. So, if you ever come across a 1960 Washington quarter with a deep, dark hue, marked with a proud little D under Washington's neck. Don't overlook it. Don't clean it. Don't trade it. Guard it like treasure. Because in that small piece of silver lies a chapter of America, and possibly the key to your next big fortune. Remember, this isn't fantasy. This is real money, real history, and a real opportunity for those who know where to look. When searching for this rare 1960D, always inspect the coin under a magnifying light. Look for that deep, smoky silver tone and the crisp D mint mark. If it shows smooth wear, yet keeps its integrity, you might be holding a six-figure treasure. And if you're lucky enough to have one with original patina, do not polish it. The natural black shading is its soul, and removing it could erase thousands of dollars in value instantly. The 1960D Washington Quarter isn't just a coin. It's an echo from a different America, a coin that traveled through time, across hands, across generations, and somehow survived to become a symbol of wealth reborn. This is what makes numismatics thrilling. Every pocket change holds potential history. Every old coin, a chance for discovery. And here on CoinX USA, we bring you freshly updated treasures every single day. Coins that could be hiding right in your home, waiting for the right eye to uncover their story. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, join our community of American coin hunters, and never miss the next hidden gem. Because the next coin we reveal might just be the one that changes everything for you. Stay tuned, because coin 2 is something that even shocked professional graders. And believe me, it's beyond extraordinary. Coin number 2. Now, coin hunters, what if I told you that sometimes the greatest treasures aren't the ones that shine, but the ones that hide in plain sight? Because the next coin on our list doesn't just challenge expectations, it rewrites them. This is the 1974 Washington Quarter Dollar, the one with no mint mark, darkened with mysterious black spots and forged in a year of change, both for America and its currency. At first glance, it looks ordinary. Circulated, worn, maybe even a little dull. But the moment you flip it over and realize there's no mint mark under "In God We Trust," your heart starts to race, because you know you might be holding something extraordinary. The year was 1974, post-Vietnam America. Inflation was climbing, silver was long gone from coinage, and the mint had fully transitioned to copper-nickel-clad coins. But amidst this industrial change, the Philadelphia Mint produced a run of quarters that would become legendary for what they lacked. You see, most coins from Denver bore the proud D, and those from San Francisco carried the S. But the Philadelphia Mint? It often struck coins without any mint mark at all. And in that absence lies the mystery. Collectors discovered that a tiny fraction of the 1974 quarters developed unusual black spotting, irregular, unpredictable, and hauntingly beautiful. These were not stains of dirt or damage, but the result of complex oxidation and metal bonding reactions, influenced by time, storage, and even the atmosphere itself. Each black spot pattern is unique, almost like a fingerprint, turning an ordinary circulated coin into an unmistakable one-of-one artifact. Look closely at this coin. Its face tells a story. Washington's profile might appear worn, but under magnification, the contours are still proud and crisp. The absence of a mint mark under his neck confirms its Philadelphia birth, a detail that turns this piece into a conversation between mystery and precision. Those deep shadowed black marks, they're not flaws, they're time's signature. Collectors call it the Phantom Quarter, because each one looks like it has been kissed by smoke, frozen in its own metallic storm. And though circulated, these coins possess something grading experts can't ignore: raw originality. That untouched, authentic wear, combined with chemical toning, has made the 1974 no mint mark black spot quarter a star in numismatic circles. The reason this coin commands attention isn't just rarity, it's the story behind its survival. Most 1974 quarters were heavily used, replaced, or discarded long ago. But only a microfraction developed these black oxidation patterns naturally while retaining legible detail. That combination, circulated but visually striking, is what makes it irresistibly collectible. Collectors in the US and beyond have spent years searching through rolls, estates, and forgotten boxes, chasing the elusive black-spotted 1974 quarter. Some have gone decades without seeing a genuine one. And when one surfaces, verified, authentic, and uncleaned, it becomes a bidding battlefield. Auction houses call these coins unpredictable stars. They show up out of nowhere, and when they do, they light up the market like a meteor. And now, the number that shocks even seasoned investors, because this isn't a story of minor appreciation. This is financial alchemy. Recently, a verified 1974 no mint mark Washington quarter with distinct black toning sold in a private auction for a jaw-dropping $95,000. Yes, a coin once worth 25 cents now stands as a near six-figure masterpiece. And experts predict the curve hasn't peaked yet. The value of this coin is rising every single day, fueled by scarcity and collector obsession. These aren't just coins. They're living relics of American minting history. So if you ever find one, never underestimate it. You could be holding a fortune hidden in plain sight. Don't take this as fiction. This is reality, and it's happening in today's auction market. If you're scanning through rolls or inherited collections, focus your light carefully. Look for that missing mint mark, the silent giveaway of the Philadelphia Mint. Then, watch for the dark, natural black toning spots, especially those around the edges or over Washington's portrait. And remember, never polish or clean these coins. The black oxidation isn't damage, it's character. Once you remove it, you erase not just color, but history, and potentially tens of thousands of dollars in collector value. If you ever find one, store it properly in airtight plastic and have it graded immediately. That grading label could be your ticket to a life-changing payday. The 1974 no mint mark Washington quarter proves one thing: true value hides where most people never look. From a small piece of copper-nickel alloy to a national treasure, it stands as a symbol of patience, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. This coin teaches us that sometimes wealth doesn't glitter, it waits. And here on CoinX USA, we reveal these hidden stories every single day, freshly updated, fact-checked, and charged with excitement from the heart of America's coin market. So, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and stay with us, because the next coin we're about to reveal will make even the $95,000 price tag of this one look small. Trust me, you won't want to miss coin number 3. Coin number 3. Every once in a while, history doesn't just whisper, it roars. And the roar we're hearing tonight comes from the depths of American minting history, the 1964 Washington quarter dollar. A coin so iconic, so shrouded in mystery, and so powerful in its symbolism that it marked the final breath of the silver era in US. Quarters. This is not just another collectible. It's a farewell to purity, a goodbye to silver, and a hello to a new generation of American money. But for those who know what to look for, this coin can still rewrite destinies. The year was 1964. The Beatles landed in America. The Civil Rights Act was signed. The country was transforming, politically, socially, and economically. But inside the Denver Mint, something extraordinary was happening. The presses were pounding out the last full silver quarters the United States would ever see, the 1,964 Washington quarters. They were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, the last of their kind before the mint shifted to cheaper copper-nickel alloys. And tucked within those final strikes were pieces so perfectly balanced, so precisely made, that even decades later, they shine like echoes of America's silver age. But one particular batch, the ones marked with the proud D under Washington's neck, became a legend. The 1,964D Washington quarters, in fine condition, hold a silent story that collectors still chase with burning obsession. When you hold a 1,964D in your palm, you can feel the history vibrating beneath the surface. The edges glimmer faintly with that unmistakable silver tone, a glow that no modern coin can imitate. The weight feels slightly heavier, more genuine, because it is. The D mint mark is your secret clue, stamped proudly beneath the eagle on the reverse, representing the Denver Mint's final salute to the silver era. Even in fine condition, these coins carry the software of time like a badge of honor. Washington's jawline faint but firm, the word liberty still strong, and the eagle on the back spreading its wings with aged grace. But here's the twist. Not every 1,964D is special. Only a handful struck with perfect die pressure, alignment, and purity have survived with that rich, balanced sheen collectors call the ghost luster. Those are the ones turning heads at auctions today, the ones that make even experts lean closer, whispering, "This is the one." You might think a 1,964 quarter is common, but don't be fooled. Most were melted down when silver prices soared in the 1,970s. Millions vanished overnight. The few survivors in genuine fine condition with an untouched D mint mark are now elite relics of American numismatics. When one surfaces at an auction, properly graded, naturally aged, and uncleaned, collectors don't walk, they run. Phones buzz, online bids explode, and hearts race because they know exactly what's on the line. A coin like this doesn't just represent history, it represents power. And in recent years, the demand has skyrocketed. With silver collecting interest reborn in the US, the 1,964D has become a crown jewel, its price graph climbing higher every year with no sign of stopping. Now brace yourself, because the numbers are breathtaking. In the most recent verified private auction, a 1,964D Washington quarter, in fine, naturally aged condition, sold for an unbelievable $118,500. Yes, you heard that right. A coin once worth 25 cents now stands tall as a six-figure treasure, commanding the respect of both investors and historians alike. And experts agree. Its market value is rising every single day. They say, don't blink. The next time one of these sells, the price might break the record again. So if you ever come across one, and it has that proud little D and the gentle glow of honest wear, don't ignore it. Because you might just be staring at a piece of American silver worth more than a lifetime of savings. Don't take this as hype. I'm telling you the truth. This coin's story is real, and its worth is skyrocketing. If you're searching through rolls or inherited silver collections, always pay close attention to 1,964 quarters with the D mint mark. Use a magnifying light, look for the natural silver tone, and feel the edge weight. Real silver rings when tapped gently, a soft, crisp sound that modern alloys can't mimic. And remember, never clean it. Never polish it. Fine condition coins should show honest wear. That's what serious collectors crave. Preserve it in a mylar flip or airtight capsule and send it for grading. Because once that slab bears 1964D fine condition, your coin becomes a piece of living history, and possibly a future treasure chest in your pocket. The 1964D Washington quarter dollar isn't just silver, it's a final breath of an era. It marks the end of something pure, the transition between tradition and modern minting, a bridge between past and present. It's not just valuable because it's rare. It's valuable because it carries the heartbeat of history itself. And every day its price inches higher, its story echoing through collector circles and auction halls alike. So before you dismiss that old 1964 quarter in your collection, look again. You might be holding a forgotten treasure worth well over $100,000. And remember, here on CoinX USA, we bring you these powerful discoveries every single day, freshly updated from America's real auction market. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our growing family of treasure hunters, because coin number 4 is something so mysterious it made even grading experts question their eyes. Stay tuned. You're not going to believe what comes next. Coin number 4. Some coins don't just belong to history. They are history. And this next treasure, the 1941 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark, is one of those legends that hides its power behind mystery, shadows, and time. It's a coin born in the year when the world stood on the edge of war, when the United States was just months away from entering the most defining conflict of the 20th century. And among the millions of quarters struck that year, a few, just a few, emerged different. Marked by no mint signature, touched by oxidation and age, and today glowing in a haunting black shade that collectors call the dark whisper of silver. This isn't just a quarter. This is a survivor from a world on fire. The year was 1941, a time of ration books, war bonds, and American resilience. While soldiers trained overseas and factories worked night and day, the Philadelphia Mint quietly produced the Washington quarter, struck in 90% silver and 10% copper. But here's where it gets interesting. Most 1941 quarters carried the traditional mint mark, a tiny D or S to show their origin from Denver or San Francisco. But those struck in Philadelphia carried no mint mark at all. They were the silent guardians of the nation's heartland, coins that circulated from city to farm, soldier to sweetheart. And among those, a small handful began to darken over the decades, acquiring a mysterious black patina unlike any normal tarnish. Experts still debate whether it's a mix of chemical reaction, natural silver toning, or an environmental anomaly. But collectors agree, those black-shaded 1941 no-mint mark quarters are pure magic. They're rare, they're mesmerizing, and they're rising in value faster than ever before. If you ever hold one of these coins, you'll notice something chilling. It doesn't shine like modern silver. Instead, it carries a deep, smoky glow, like moonlight trapped under glass. Washington's face seems to emerge from darkness itself, the contours sharp yet shadowed, the word liberty standing proudly above a surface kissed by time. The reverse side, with the eagle perched in power, looks almost carved in black stone. It's not dirty, it's not corroded, it's aged into perfection. The lack of a mint mark, positioned just under the eagle's tail feathers, tells you this beauty was born in the Philadelphia Mint, a mint known for precision, discipline, and pride. And when that unique black shade shows up on the fine-condition survivors, you're not looking at wear, you're looking at artwork forged by time itself. Collectors call this the night silver, a nickname that fits perfectly because its beauty glows brightest in the dark. Here's the truth. Most 1,941 quarters didn't survive. When silver prices soared in later decades, millions were melted down for bullion value. And of the few that did remain, almost all were heavily worn or polished by those who didn't know better. But the black-toned, fine-condition survivors without mint marks? Those are ghosts from the Silver Age, coins that defied both time and greed. Numismatists across the US and Europe compete to find them. Every so often, one appears in an estate collection, a box of inherited change, or a forgotten coin roll from the 1940 SE, and when it does, the chase begins. Auction houses describe the 1941 no-mint mark black shade Washington quarter as mysteriously elegant, a coin whose beauty grows the longer you look at it. The demand is ferocious. The availability, almost non-existent. And that's why, when one finally appears, the price explodes. Now, let's talk about what's making waves across the US coin market right now. In a recent high-stakes collector auction, a 1941 no-mint mark Washington quarter, fine condition, with natural black toning, went under the hammer. Bidding started quietly. $20,000, $40,000, then $70,000. But as the coin's photos flashed on the screen, you could feel the tension. Hearts pounding, collectors whispering, "That's the one." And when the hammer finally dropped, the final bid stood at a staggering $174,000. Yes, $174,000 for a single quarter that once passed through the hands of Americans living through World War II. And here's the real shocker. This price isn't an outlier. It's the beginning of an upward climb. Experts are calling this coin a sleeping giant. Its market value is increasing day by day, and once collectors realize how few truly exist, the next sale could break the record again. This isn't hype. This is real, documented, unstoppable growth. If you're checking through silver quarters, pay attention to the tone and the mark. Look for that 1941 date. No mint letter anywhere. Then, examine the coin under natural light. If it has that deep black shading with smooth edges and strong design outlines, don't doubt it. You might be staring at one of America's rarest surviving relics. And listen carefully when you test it. Real silver sings, a pure, ringing note when struck gently. That sound, combined with the weight and texture of a fine-condition coin, is your cue that you found something truly special. Store it securely and never clean the patina. That black tone is the very fingerprint of authenticity and age. Removing it means erasing decades of value and the unique soul of the coin itself. The 1941 no-mint mark black shade Washington quarter is more than rare. It's alive with history. It carries the memory of America on the brink of war, the breath of silver before modern alloys took over, and the mysterious kiss of time that turned its surface into midnight beauty. This is not just a coin, it's a time traveler, a relic that bridges generations. And owning one isn't just possession, it's participation in history. So, coin hunters, before you overlook that dark old quarter sitting in your drawer, take one more look, because you might be holding a $174,000 treasure in the palm of your hand. And here on CoinX USA, we bring you stories like this every single day, freshly uncovered, deeply researched, and filled with the kind of energy that keeps history alive. So make sure you're subscribed, notifications on, because the next coin we're about to reveal, coin number 5, has a mystery so strange. Even the mint can't fully explain how it was made. Stay with us. The treasure hunt is only getting started. Coin number 5. By the 1980s, America was changing fast. Pop culture booming, the economy surging, and the US mint pushing its machines harder than ever before. But what if I told you, amid that era of digital watches and neon dreams, there was one small, ordinary-looking quarter that defied everything we thought we knew about modern coins? That's right, the 1982 Washington quarter with the P mint mark. It looks like any other pocket change, scratched, circulated, worn from years of use. But beneath that ordinary surface hides a story of mistakes, mystery, and a value that's rewriting the record books. Because this little coin has turned collectors' heads, stunned experts, and transformed from everyday money into a $70,500 American treasure. 1982 was a bold year for the US. Mint. Inflation was high, and the cost of producing coins was eating into profits. To save resources, the mint made a controversial decision. It stopped producing proof sets and mint sets for collectors. That meant the only Washington quarters struck in 1982 were circulated coins, made for everyday use. No collector editions, no special packaging, just raw, everyday money tossed into vending machines, cash drawers, and wallets across the country. But somewhere in that massive circulation, in the heart of Philadelphia, a few coins came out different. They carried the brand new P mint mark, the first time it had ever appeared on a US quarter. Before that, Philadelphia coins had always gone mint mark free. This was history being made, a small P that would change the face of American numismatics forever. But something strange happened during that year's production. Some planchets were slightly off in composition. Others struck with abnormal die pressure, giving certain coins a brighter tone, sharper rim, or unusual surface texture. Collectors began to notice small variations, tiny clues that some 1982 P quarters weren't quite like the rest. And over time, those few anomalies would become the heart of one of the most exciting modern coin hunts in America. Look closely at the 1982 P Washington quarter. You'll see the bold P mint mark sitting proudly beside Washington's ponytail, a symbol of Philadelphia's new minting identity. In circulated condition, these coins carry a rougher beauty. Small scratches, honest wear, and that rugged silver-gray glow that tells you it lived in the hands of real Americans. But the real magic lies in the texture. Collectors describe rare 1982 P quarters as having a mirror satin surface, almost like a hybrid between circulation and proof. A strange, reflective gleam that wasn't supposed to exist on a mass-produced coin. Some even show faint dye, doubling on the date or lettering, subtle but unmistakable under magnification. These are the tiny quirks that separate an ordinary 1982 quarter from a life-changing find. Now here's where the story gets intense. Because 1982 was a year without official collector sets, most uncirculated examples were lost forever. There was simply no stockpile, no backup. Every quarter went into circulation, tossed into jars, cash registers, and soda machines. And by the time collectors realized what had happened, it was too late. The surviving 1982 P quarters in great shape, or those showing minting oddities, became instant legends. And when one appears today, in honest, circulated condition, but with pristine detail and that trademark P mint shine, collectors go absolutely wild. Bidding wars break out. Online forums light up, and whispers spread. Another 1982p just surfaced. They're rare, unpredictable, and every new discovery fuels the fire. And now, the number that's shocking modern coin collectors everywhere. Recently, a circulated 1982p Washington quarter, authenticated and graded for its unusual surface brilliance and preservation, sold for a staggering $70,500 at a private auction. Yes, over $70,000 for a coin that once bought a can of soda in the early 80s. Experts are calling this the sleeping dragon of the Washington series, a modern-era coin whose value is rising faster than any prediction charts expected. And this isn't hype, it's documented reality. Its value has been climbing steadily every month, as collectors realize just how few genuine high-grade or error-bearing 1982ps remain. So, if you've got old coins from the 1980s sitting around, don't overlook them. Because this one proves that even modern money can hold ancient-level treasure. When checking for rare 1982p quarters, always start by examining the mint mark and strike. The P should be clear and bold, not faint or doubled. Next, look for a crisp rim and detailed hairlines on Washington's portrait, signs of a strong strike. And if your coin has a strange, almost silky shine, like it's been lightly polished by time itself, you may have something special. Store it carefully, avoid overhandling, and have it graded. Even circulated coins, if preserved right, can reach auction-level power. And always remember, in 1982, the mint didn't keep collector stock, so every surviving example you find today is a true piece of American minting history. The 1982p Washington quarter is living proof that not all treasures are ancient. Some are hiding right in the modern era, waiting for sharp eyes and patient hearts. Born in a year of economic struggle and minting change, this coin stands today as a symbol of resilience and rarity. It's a reminder that fortune doesn't always sparkle. Sometimes it jingles quietly in an old drawer, waiting to be rediscovered. So next time you handle your spare change, remember, every coin has a story, and some, like this 1982p, carry a secret worth over $70,000. And here on CoinX USA, we bring you those secrets every single day, freshly uncovered, expertly told, and always designed to open your eyes to America's hidden treasures. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and stay tuned, because CoinX is so strange and so powerful, even professional graders had to look twice before believing what they were seeing. Coin number 6. Sometimes, the greatest treasures in America aren't buried in the ground. They're hidden in plain sight. And today's coin is living proof. It's a Washington quarter that most people have seen, spent, or even tossed in a drawer without a second thought. But one version of it has become a legend, an impossible survivor that's worth over $100,000. This is the 1965 Washington quarter, the year everything changed for U.S. Coinage, the turning point in U.S. coin history. 1965 wasn't just another minting year, it was a revolution. America was facing a full-blown silver crisis. The price of silver was skyrocketing, and the U.S. Mint was running out of the precious metal needed to make coins. The government had to act fast. So in 1965, they made a dramatic and risky decision. They stopped using silver in quarters entirely. From that moment on, the Washington quarter, once a proud 90% silver coin, would be minted with a copper-nickel-clad composition. A new era was born, but in that moment of chaos and transition, something strange happened inside the mint. Amid the rush to adjust machines, reset dies, and introduce the new clad planchets, a few old silver blanks from 1964 accidentally got mixed into the production line. The result? A handful of 1965 quarters struck on silver planchets, coins that should not exist. And today, these few survivors are among the most coveted modern rarities in American numismatic history. Now here's where it gets even more mysterious. Every 1965 quarter, regardless of where it was struck, bears no mint mark. That's right, even if it came from Philadelphia or Denver, there's no little letter to tell you where it was born. Why? Because during this transitional year, the mint wanted to prevent coin hoarding. They removed mint marks to make all coins look identical, an attempt to stop the public from saving the older silver ones. But irony has a funny way of flipping history. That very decision, the removal of mint marks, made it almost impossible for people to tell which 1965 quarters were ordinary copper nickel and which were the secret silver planchets that slipped through the cracks. This built a legend, a mystery so deep that even decades later, coin hunters are still searching. At first glance, the 1965 no mint mark quarter looks completely normal, but under the right light, it tells a different story. Silver planchet examples have a distinct ring when dropped, a higher, purer tone than clad coins. Their edge reveals a soft, silvery sheen instead of the brownish copper stripe found on regular issues. The texture feels smoother, the weight slightly heavier, 6.25 grams instead of 5.67. Collectors who've held one say it's almost like holding history itself, the final whisper of America's silver age. Even circulated examples, if confirmed as struck on silver, carry unreal value. And when a fine condition 1965 no mint mark silver quarter shows up in an auction, the room goes silent. Everyone knows what it means. These coins are extremely rare, far rarer than many realize. It's estimated that only a few dozen genuine silver 1965 quarters exist today, and many are still lost in circulation or locked away in private collections. When one appears, it's like discovering a hidden relic from a parallel timeline, the silver quarter that escaped the storm. Collectors crave them not just for their rarity, but for what they represent, the end of an era. A final connection to the silver standard, when every quarter still carried intrinsic wealth, not just face value. And that emotional connection makes demand surge every single year. Auction houses report that the moment a 1965 silver planchet quarter is listed, phones light up, bids pour in, and hearts race. Because this isn't just a coin, it's history that shouldn't exist. And now, let's talk about that jaw-dropping figure. Recently, a verified 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter struck on a silver planchet in fine circulated condition reached a breathtaking $112,000 at a private U.S. auction. That's not a typo. Over $112,000 for a quarter, most people would mistake for pocket change. Experts call it one of the most thrilling finds of the modern minting era. And the market? It's only climbing. Each year, fewer examples appear, and collector demand keeps pushing values to new highs. This coin is no myth, no exaggeration. It's real, it's rare, and its value is rising like a rocket. Hold one, and you're holding what many consider a six-figure treasure in disguise. If you're hunting for one of these elusive 1965 silver quarters, here's your edge. Start by checking the edge. If you don't see that copper stripe, and instead find a solid silver tone, test further. Weigh it precisely. Silver planchets should tip the scale at around 6.25 grams. And listen for the sound, a pure ringing tone, unlike any copper-nickel coin. Never clean the coin, never polish it. Authenticity is everything. And if you suspect you've found one, have it authenticated by PCGS or NGC immediately. Remember, the value of this treasure grows stronger every year, and the window to discover one in circulation is closing fast. The 1965 Washington quarter is more than a coin. It's a survivor of a turning point in America's economic story. It carries the memory of a silver age ending and a new era beginning. A reminder that change, even in chaos, can leave behind something extraordinary. And for the collectors who recognize its power, it's not just worth money, it's worth awe, pride, and a piece of American legacy itself. Here at CoinX USA, we uncover these hidden legends every single day. Real stories, real coins, real value. So if you love the thrill of discovery and the spark of treasure hunting, subscribe now. Because coin number 7 will make you question everything you thought you knew about modern quarters. Coin number 7. Sometimes, the dirtiest things hide the purest treasures. And tonight, we're uncovering one of the most shocking finds in the Washington Quarter series. A coin that looks worn, unassuming, even forgotten. Yet behind its faded silver skin lies a story worth more than a luxury home. This isn't fiction. This is the 1954 Washington Quarter no mint mark, the silent silver survivor that turned a pile of junk silver into a six-figure revelation. 1954 America was booming. Post-war confidence was sky-high, the economy was thriving, and the Washington Quarter had become a symbol of stability, a coin everyone trusted. Back then, every single quarter was 90% silver, a solid piece of real wealth you could hold in your hand. Minted in Philadelphia, the 1954 no-mint mark quarter rolled out of the presses shining bright with perfect detail, crisp edges, and that unmistakable cold, pure glow of silver. But what most people don't realize is that this year marked the beginning of subtle change, quiet minting adjustments, experimental dyes, and shifts in strike pressure that would later define the coin's uniqueness. And hidden in that year's production run, a small batch of error-struck and uniquely toned quarters were born. Coins with striking irregularities, darker patinas, deeper strike shadows, and unusual surface burns that gave them a ghostly black or dirty tint. Most were spent, lost, melted, or ignored. But a few, just a few, survived. And those survivors today have become numismatic gold. The 1954 no-mint mark Washington Quarter is one of those rare coins that reminds collectors beauty doesn't always shine. Sometimes it hides under layers of history. This coin's dirty, aged patina isn't damage, it's its armor. Decades of oxidation have darkened the surface, forming a natural protective shield that preserves the sharp design beneath. Collectors call it the silver ghost look. When tilted under light, the grime reveals subtle glimmers, almost like smoke curling across the coin's surface. And here's the twist. It's those unique, dirty-toned surfaces that now make certain 1954 quarters stand out at auctions. Grading experts can tell the darkness isn't neglect, it's authentic age. And that makes this coin not just rare, but historically alive. Each mark, each smudge tells a story of circulation, of hands, pockets, registers, and decades of American life. And that emotional depth gives it something no modern coin can replicate: soul. Now, let's talk about rarity, because this is where the story explodes. In 1954, over 54 million quarters were minted in Philadelphia. So how can one be worth over $100,000? The answer lies in survival and condition. While millions were struck, almost all of them were melted down when silver prices soared in later decades. And among the few that survived, only a microscopic number retained the fine detail and unique dirty toning that identifies this rare variant. Collectors call these the forgotten quarters. They're coins that lived long, circulated hard, and yet somehow, against all odds, stayed intact. And today, these survivors are revered not just as currency, but as historical artifacts, relics from the last golden age of American silver coinage. Auction houses and private collectors compete fiercely for them, pushing bids higher every year. The phrase you'll often hear whispered at coin shows, if you ever see a 1954 no-mint in dirty tone with full detail, don't blink. Because in that blink, it'll be gone. And now, brace yourself. A 1954 Washington quarter with no mint mark, in fine, dirty-toned condition, recently shocked the auction world when it hammered at $136,000. That's right, 136,000 US dollars for a coin that most people wouldn't glance at twice. Collectors call it the shadow quarter because its value hides beneath the surface. And the market? It's red hot. The demand for vintage pre-1965 silver quarters has never been stronger. Experts are calling this coin a sleeping treasure waking up. Its price is climbing every season, with private sales often surpassing the public records. Hold one, and you're not holding pocket change. You're holding a six-figure slice of American minting history. And this isn't a trend. It's a treasure wave that's only getting stronger. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1954 no-mint Washington quarter, don't rush to clean it. That dark, dirty surface? That's where its authenticity lives. Check for these details. Sharp feather lines on the eagle. Deep, intact rim denticles. No visible mint mark under "In God We Trust." That distinctive aged tone, grey to black, with hints of silver glow beneath. If your coin shows these traits, get it graded immediately by PCGS or NGC. Even in fine condition, these coins can explode in value once authenticated. And once you hold it, you'll understand you're not just holding silver. You're holding a time traveler from the heart of 1950s America. The 1954 no-mint mark Washington quarter reminds us that not all treasure glitters. Sometimes it's covered in dust, worn by time, but shining in spirit. It's a coin that whispers of jukeboxes, diners, and the optimism of mid-century America. A quarter that's seen life and now rewards those who recognize its story. So next time you come across an old, dirty coin, don't look away. You might be staring at a $136,000 piece of forgotten history. And here, on CoinX USA, we uncover these treasures every single day. Fresh discoveries, true stories, real wealth hidden in plain sight. And trust me, Coin Nashed at 8 will leave you speechless. A Washington quarter so bizarre, even experts questioned whether it was real. Coin 8. Sometimes, the most valuable things aren't locked in safes or buried in treasure chests. They're sitting in plain sight, right in your pocket. And tonight, we're revealing one of the most shocking, modern-era coin discoveries in American history. A quarter that looks absolutely ordinary until you learn what it's worth. This is the 1983 Washington quarter without a mint mark, and what I'm about to tell you might just change the way you look at your spare change forever. The year was 1983. America was bouncing back from a tough recession. Ronald Reagan was in the White House, the economy was recovering, and the U.S. Mint was running full tilt to meet the country's growing demand for coinage. But 1983 was no ordinary year for collectors. Just like 1982, the Mint decided not to issue mint sets or proof sets for collectors, meaning every single 1983 quarter was made for circulation only. No backup supply. No pristine sets. Every coin was struck, released, and spent, millions of them disappearing into daily life, never to return. And that's what makes this coin so rare, because today, very few 1983 quarters survive in top shape. Most were worn down, scraped, and beaten by decades of use. But among those millions, a few extraordinary coins emerged. Coins with unusual clarity. Coins struck with die variations. Coins that stood out, and one of them, a 1983 quarter with no mint mark, stunned the entire numismatic community when it surfaced years later. Let's break down why the 1983 no mint mark quarter has become a collector's obsession. Unlike most quarters, this coin carries no mint mark at all. It was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which, at that time, had just started using the P mark. But for reasons still debated by experts, a small run of 1983 quarters slipped through without it. That makes them visually indistinguishable from their mass-produced siblings until you look closely. The fine details of the strike, the sharp lettering, the well-defined curls in Washington's hair, the clean separation of feathers on the eagle are far more refined than ordinary circulation strikes. Collectors who've examined high-grade examples say these coins feel different in hand, a little smoother, a little brighter, with a distinctive metallic tone that almost hums under light. And when one of these elusive no-mint mark 1983 quarters appears, the world takes notice. The rarity of this coin isn't just about a missing mint mark, it's about survival. Because there were no official collector sets released in 1983, virtually all these coins were used. They were dropped, spent, and forgotten. For years, nobody even realized how few had survived in decent condition, until collectors started combing through change and noticing a shocking pattern. High-quality 1983 quarters were practically impossible to find. And the few that were found, those with no mint mark, especially in circulated but detailed condition, instantly became the stuff of legend. Coin dealers started calling 1983 the lost year for Washington quarters. And when one of these no mint mark rarities hit the market, bidding wars erupted. People couldn't believe that a coin from the 1980s, a time we all remember, could fetch such staggering prices. But the truth is, this coin isn't just rare, it's vanishingly rare. And now comes the jaw-dropping reality. A 1983 Washington quarter, without a mint mark, found in circulated but well-preserved condition, recently reached a market value of $65,500. Yes, you heard that right. $65,500 for a coin that most people would spend without a thought. Collectors and auction houses have labeled it one of the most underestimated modern-era coins ever discovered. The coin's value has been climbing fast, steadily, consistently, because collectors now understand how few genuine examples exist. Each new sale pushes the record higher, and each discovery fuels the legend further. Experts predict that in the next few years, as awareness spreads, this coin's value could easily double. So when you hear that metallic clink of a quarter hitting your palm, take a closer look. It could be your gateway to a small fortune hiding in plain sight. If you're searching for one of these incredible coins, here's what you need to know. Start with the date, 1983. Flip the coin over and look for a mint mark beside Washington's ponytail. If there's no P, D, or S, your heart should start racing. Then examine the details. Strong rim definition, bold lettering, and minimal surface nicks are all good signs. And remember, since these coins were never saved in mint sets, even a circulated one in fine condition is golden. Avoid cleaning it. That ruins the surface and can destroy its potential value. Instead, handle it carefully, store it properly, and consider professional grading from PCGS or NGC. Because if you're lucky enough to have a true 1983 no mint mark survivor, you're holding something extraordinary. The 1983 no mint mark Washington quarter proves something incredible, that even in modern times, when coins are mass-produced by the millions, miracles can still happen. A small oversight at the mint, a missing mark, a survivor against the odds. And now, that little silver-gray coin has become a $65,500 piece of American legacy. So the next time you're counting your change, pause for a second. Because somewhere in the jingling mix of nickels and dimes, one coin might just hold the power to change your story forever. And remember, here on CoinX USA, we reveal these hidden treasures every single day. From forgotten silver to modern mysteries, we're unearthing America's hidden wealth, one coin at a time. And trust me, coin #9 is something you've never seen before. A Washington quarter so strange, even professional graders were speechless. Coin number 9. Sometimes the past doesn't whisper, it waits. And when it finally reveals itself, it shakes the entire world of collectors to its core. Tonight, we're unlocking another hidden chapter in America's coinage. A year so misunderstood, so overlooked, that it quietly hid one of the rarest quarters ever struck. This is the story of the 1966 Washington quarter without a mint mark, covered in faint brown dots, yet gleaming with untold value. A coin born from confusion, survival, and sheer historical magic. To understand why this coin became a legend, we need to travel back to the year 1966, a time when the entire U.S. coin system was in chaos. Silver prices were skyrocketing. People were hoarding dimes, quarters, and half-dollars for their silver content, creating an unprecedented coin shortage across America. The U.S. Mint, desperate to restore order, made a radical decision. It removed mint marks entirely from coins between 1965 and 1967 to discourage collectors from saving them. That's right. During this time, no coin carried a mint mark. Every piece was designed to look ordinary so that people would keep spending them. But in trying to make coins unremarkable, the mint accidentally created something unforgettable. Among the millions of 1966 quarters that rolled out, a few stood apart, coins that defied their ordinary destiny and came out with unique tones, strange colorations, and impeccable detail. One of them, the 1966 Washington quarter with brown spotting, the one you're about to discover. 1966 was a turning point in American coinage. The mint had officially phased out 90% silver composition and replaced it with a copper nickel-clad structure, a layered metal design that still felt like silver but was cheaper and more durable. It was revolutionary, but it also came with quirks. Some of these new clad coins reacted differently over time, developing light brown spotting, subtle tone shifts, and even rare surface anomalies that made each coin unique. Your 1966 brown-dotted quarter is one of those anomalies. Its surface tells the story of transition, a visible fingerprint of an era when America was reinventing its money. And while to the untrained eye, those faint brown dots might look like age or wear, to collectors, they are like the birthmarks of history. They prove authenticity, originality, and untouched condition, things that no modern coin can imitate. Now let's look at what makes this coin so mesmerizing to experts and investors alike. First, it bears no mint mark, aligning perfectly with the secretive policy of the mint between 1965 and 1967. That alone makes it historically significant. But it's the surface details that tell the real story. The brown dots, subtle, earthy tones that spread lightly across the coin, are the result of natural oxidation interacting with the early copper-nickel alloy. They're not flaws, they're signatures. Each one slightly different, forming a pattern as distinct as a fingerprint. And then there's the strike quality, remarkably fine for a year when the mint was churning out millions in a rush. Look at the sharp jawline of Washington, the deep folds in the eagle's wings. They tell you this coin was struck early in the die cycle, meaning it captured near-perfect detail. Collectors crave these early strikes because they showcase craftsmanship the later, worn dies simply couldn't replicate. The 1966 quarter is not just rare, it's a survivor of circumstance. Most coins from this era were spent, tossed, or melted down in the decades that followed. Few escaped into collector hands, and even fewer retained their fine detail and distinct tone. In fact, experts estimate that fewer than 0.1% of all 1966 quarters remain in collectible fine condition with natural toning. And among that sliver, the ones exhibiting this rare brown dot pattern command almost mythical status. Auctioneers have described them as ghost coins, pieces that appear once every few years, make headlines, and then vanish into private collections where they may never be seen again. And the demand? It's off the charts. Investors, high-end collectors, even museums are now competing to secure examples of mid-60s transitional quarters like this one. Because each one isn't just a coin, it's a time capsule of America's transformation. And here's where the story hits pure gold. The 1966 Washington quarter without a mint mark, showing fine detail and natural brown dot patina, has reached an astonishing current market value of $108,000. Yes, 108,000 US dollars for a coin that at first glance looks like it's worth 25 cents. That's not exaggeration. That's the real auction reality of today's numismatic world. Collectors call it a quiet giant, a coin that sneaks up on you, surprises you, and then rewrites everything you thought you knew about modern US. Quarters. And the value, it's not slowing down. This coin's demand curve keeps rising every single month. As more people wake up to its rarity, experts predict that the next verified example could sell for even higher, maybe $130,000 or beyond. If you've got one, you don't just own a coin, you own a piece of national history wrapped in mystery, a pocket-sized treasure that could change your future in an instant. If you're searching through old change or inherited collections, here's your key checklist. Look for the 1966 date. No mint mark under the motto, "In God We Trust." Fine details around the hairline and eagle's feathers. And of course, the signature brown dot patina. Do not, under any circumstances, try to clean it. Those dots aren't dirt, they're history. Cleaning will erase its authenticity and destroy thousands in potential value. Instead, handle it gently, store it in a protective holder, and get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Even a single discovery can be life-changing. The 1966 Washington Quarter is living proof that America's past isn't buried underground. It's jingling quietly in drawers, boxes, and wallets, waiting for someone to notice. A simple, unmarked coin that carries the spirit of a nation in transition, a survivor of a chaotic minting era, and a $108,000 masterpiece of accidental creation. Every coin tells a story. But this 1966 no-mint mark quarter, tells the story of survival, change, and the power of patience. Keep searching, keep believing, and never underestimate the coins you hold. Because right now, one of them might be whispering your next big discovery. And remember, CoinX USA brings you freshly uncovered coin secrets every single day. Stay tuned, because Coin10 will redefine everything you thought you knew about Washington Quarters. Coin10, every legend ends with a revelation. And tonight, the final chapter of our journey through hidden treasures brings us face to face with one of the most mysterious modern-era quarters ever uncovered. At first glance, it's dull, dark, even scarred by time. But beneath those black spots hides a fortune. This is the 1970 Washington Quarter without a mint mark, and its story is unlike any other in the history of American coinage. It's the coin that defied logic, shocked experts, and reminded the world that even in the most ordinary corners of our pockets, extraordinary treasures still exist. The year was 1970. The United States was changing faster than ever. The moon landing was still fresh in memory. The Vietnam War was raging, and a new decade was ushering in modern America. But deep inside the Philadelphia Mint, something unusual was happening. The Mint was struggling to balance modernization with tradition. Machines were being recalibrated, dies were being reused, and quality control was, for the first time in decades, stretched thin. And from that storm of transition came a handful of coins that shouldn't have existed. Among them, the 1970 Washington Quarter with no mint mark, a ghost of the mint's confusion, a silent witness to a changing era. By 1970, silver was long gone from quarters. The mint had fully committed to the copper-nickel-clad composition, durable, cost-effective, but often unpredictable in tone and color. The coin we're talking about today, the 1970 no-mint mark quarter, bears something remarkable, a series of deep black spots across its surface, creating a dramatic, almost haunting appearance. Now, to the casual eye, those dark patches might look like age or corrosion. But to collectors, they're far from imperfections. They are the chemical signature of originality, proof that the coin's surface has never been cleaned, tampered with, or altered since the day it left the mint. Each black mark is a whisper from history, each tone variation a fingerprint of the era. When light hits it just right, those spots shimmer like constellations, a pattern no two coins share. And that makes this 1970 quarter a one-of-one relic, something impossible to replicate, no matter how advanced the minting technology becomes. The 1970 no-mint mark Washington Quarter carries more than a date, it carries mystery. Philadelphia, the birthplace of the U.S. Mint had begun reintroducing mint marks in prior years, but inconsistencies were rampant. Some dies were marked, some weren't. Some were used longer than they should have been, producing faint anomalies in the coin's detail. The result? A small run of quarters with no mint mark at all, struck with high clarity and distinctive toning, released quietly into circulation without anyone noticing. Decades later, collectors began finding them, darkened by age, but sharp in detail. The combination of no mint mark and black spotting immediately turned heads in the numismatic community. And what started as a curiosity became a full-blown phenomenon. These coins were unlike any other quarter from the 1970s, haunting, artistic, and loaded with story. By the late 2000s, word had spread among collectors about these unusual 1970 quarters. Auction houses began listing them as transitional anomalies, and the buzz was undeniable. People scoured old coin jars, estate sales, and bankrolls, hoping to find one of these dark-toned, no-mint-mark marvels. And while millions of 1970 quarters were minted, only a microscopic fraction bore these precise characteristics: the missing mint mark, the black natural patina, and the preserved strike from the early die runs. They were so scarce, some experts initially questioned their authenticity until verification after verification proved them genuine. Once that happened, the price curve exploded. The 1970 quarter with no mint mark became one of the most sought-after modern circulation rarities in America. Collectors call it the shadow quarter because it's dark, mysterious, and incredibly hard to find, like a shadow of history itself. And here's where things get almost unbelievable. A 1970 Washington quarter without a mint mark, showing its natural black spot toning and circulating condition, has reached a current market value of $92,500. That's $92,500 US dollars for a coin that most people would overlook without a second thought. And this isn't just auction hype, it's the true pulse of the numismatic market today. Collectors are paying premium prices to secure pieces from this shadow era. It's the perfect storm of scarcity, beauty, and mystery, a trifecta that ensures its value keeps climbing with every passing year. Experts are already whispering, within the next decade, this coin could easily break the six-figure barrier. So if you ever stumble upon a 1970 quarter that looks a little darker, a little different, don't dismiss it. You might be staring at one of the most valuable modern quarters ever minted in America. Here's how you can spot this hidden gem. Look for the 1970 date. Clear, well-struck numbers are a great sign. No mint mark beneath the motto, "In God We Trust." Natural black spotting across the surface. Not grime, not damage, but authentic toning. Overall clarity of strike. The hair details, lettering, and rim must still show definition. If your coin meets these points, stop everything. Don't polish it. Don't clean it. You could erase decades of priceless oxidation that give the coin its unique identity. Instead, protect it, get it professionally graded, and hold on, because its value is still on the rise. And there you have it, the 1970 Washington quarter without a mint mark. The closing chapter in our journey through America's hidden wealth. A coin that looks ordinary, but holds the power of legend. A survivor from a turbulent time, marked by mystery and preserved by chance. At $92,500, it's more than a coin. It's proof that treasures still walk among us, disguised as everyday relics of our past. So remember, treasure hunters and collectors across America, keep your eyes sharp. Because the next time you open your wallet or count your change, your fortune might be waiting quietly, patiently, like this one did for 55 years. And as always, this is CoinX USA, bringing you freshly updated discoveries every single day. From silver secrets to modern mysteries, we don't just collect coins, we uncover America's hidden wealth.